Hello, I am Olivia. Welcome back to Bioholic Friday Special class. We have started a new chapter, that is the plant hormones. This is the second class of the plant hormones. So if you have not watched the previous video, then please go through the description box. The link is mentioned there. In previous class, I have given you the brief introduction of the plant hormones, and from today we will learn the plant hormones in details one by one. So first of all, we will learn about the auxin plant hormone. So let's have a tour to the world of auxin. So the auxin is the first hormone to be studied in plants. It is a group of naturally occurring and artificially synthesized plant hormones. They are derivatives of indoles, and the term auxin is derived from a Greek word that means to increase or to grow. A bonus information is that the term auxin was first coined by biologist F.W. Went. Okay? And these auxins play important role in growth and development in the plants. Now, let's have a brief idea about the history of auxin discovery. In 1881, Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin performed experiments on coleoptiles. The experiment exposed that coleoptile bend towards the light. By covering various parts of the coleoptiles with a light impermeable opaque cap, the Darwins discovered that light is detected by the coleoptile tip. And then the Darwins concluded that the tip of the coleoptile was responsible for sensing the light and proposed that a messenger is transmitted in a downward direction from the tip of the coleoptile that causes it to bend. And he wrote all of these in his book, The Power of Movement in Plants. And later in 1913, P. Boyson Jensen discovered that the growth stimulus can pass through gelatin but not through water impermeable barriers. These growth stimulus or these messenger is later named as auxins. In this figure, you can see the bending of coleoptile in presence of the light. And here the purple colored dots are representing the auxins. Okay? Now, biosynthesis of auxin. There are mainly two pathways involved in the biosynthesis of auxin. The first of all is the tryptophan dependent pathway, and the second one is the tryptophan independent pathway. In 1935, Thiemann demonstrated that a fungus Rhizopus could convert amino acid tryptophan to indole 3-acetic acid IAA. From then, tryptophan has been identified as a precursor of IAA or indole 3-acetic acid in plants. Experimental evidences for the existence of tryptophan-independent pathways of IAA biosynthesis in higher plants have been obtained in recent years. And the primary site of auxin synthesis are the shoot apical meristem and young leaves. Root apical meristem also synthesize auxin, and young fruits and seeds also have high levels of auxin. I am very sorry, here it should be fruit and not food. So moving to the mechanism of action of auxins. The plant hormones also act by the signal transduction mechanism, eliciting more than one cellular responses. Auxin binds to the specific receptors which promotes catalysis of a reaction. When auxin binds to a receptor, it initiates binding of a repressor protein for certain auxin response genes to ubiquitin, resulting in degradation of repressor protein, and the transcription of auxin response genes progresses, leading to cellular growth and development. So first of all, there is external and internal stimuli which causes auxin production. Then the auxin is transported. This transportation is unidirectional or polar, and the auxin always moves downwards from its site of production. So obviously there will be a auxin concentration gradient, and ultimately there is signal transduction and cellular responses. Now the types of auxin. Auxin can be classified into two types: the naturally occurring auxins. Those are the auxins that are naturally produced. For example, the IAA or indole 3-acetic acid, 4-chloroindole 3-acetic acid, phenylacetic acid, and indole 3-butyric acid. And some auxins may also be made synthetically. Those are called as artificially synthesized auxin, like 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, 1-naphthalene acetic acid, dicamba or 2-methoxy-3,6-dichlorobenzoic acid, and plicorum or 4-amino-3,5,6-trichloropicolinic acid. Now, what are the physiological functions of auxin? First of all, the cell elongation. The primary physiological effect of auxin in plants is to stimulate the elongation of cells in shoot. A very common example of this can be observed in phototrophic curvatures, where the unilateral light unequally distributes the auxin in the stem tip. That is, more auxin are transferred to the shaded side than on illuminated side. The higher concentration of auxin on the shaded side causes the cells on the side to elongate more rapidly, resulting in the bending of the stem tip towards the light. So the auxin causes cell elongation probably by increasing the osmotic solutes of the cells, by reducing the wall pressure, by increasing the permeability of cells to water, by an increase in the wall synthesis, and by inducing the synthesis of specific DNA-dependent new mRNA and specific enzymic proteins that triggers an increase in cell plasticity and extensions, resulting ultimately in cell enlargement. Second physiological functions of auxin is the maintenance of apical dominance. In many vascular plants, especially the tall and sparsely branched ones, if the terminal bud is intact and growing, the growth of the lateral buds just below it remained suppressed. Removal of the apical bud results in the rapid growth of the lateral buds. This phenomena, in which the apical bud dominates over the lateral buds, is called as apical dominance. Skoog and Thiemann first pointed out that the apical dominance might be under the control of auxin produced at the terminal bud, and which is transported downward through the stem to the lateral buds and prevent their growth. Third function is the root initiation. In contrast to the stem, the higher concentration of auxin inhibits the elongation of root, but the higher concentration of auxin initiates more lateral branch roots. Next is the prevention of abscission. Natural auxins have controlling influence on the abscission of leaves, fruits, etc. Then the parthenocarpy. Auxin can induce the formation of parthenocarpic fruits. Sixth function is the respiration. It has been established that the auxin stimulates respiration, and there is a correlation between auxin-induced growth and an increased respiration rate. Then the callus formation. Besides cell elongation, the auxin may also be active in cell division. In fact, in many tissue cultures where the callus growth is quite normal, the continued growth of such callus takes place only after the addition of auxin. And lastly, auxin also induces vascular differentiation in plants. Besides the physiological functions, auxin can be used for various practical applications, like for rooting. Besides indole acetic acid, some other synthetic auxins, especially the naphthalene acetic acid or indole butyric acid, are widely employed in initiating early and vigorous rooting in plants. Similarly, the prevention of pre-harvest drop of fruits, premature falling of the fruits can be checked by the application of auxins such as 2,4-D and 2,4,6-trichlorophenoxyacetic acid, which delay the formation of the abscission layer. Next, again the parthenocarpy. The parthenocarpic seedless fruits are obtained on commercial scale by the application of auxins in many plants. Next is inhibition of buds to prevent sprouting. Auxins like alpha-naphthalene acetic acid prolong the dormancy of buds in potato tube. Fifth is the shortening of internodes. In apples and pears, the fruits are developed on dwarf buds. Treatment of the other terminal shoots with alpha-naphthalene acetic acid prevents the elongation of their internodes so that they also become dwarf. And lastly, the selective weed killers. At higher concentrations, the auxins may have profound herbicidal properties and are utilized in the eradication of the weeds. Now, a term is very important in relation to the auxin, that is the antioxin. Antioxins are some chemicals which inhibit the action of auxin. For example, the 2,3,5-triiodobenzoic acid or TIBA, N1-naphthalamic acid or NPA, 1-naphthoxyacetic acid or 1-NOA, and alpha-p-chlorophenoxy isobutyric acid or PCIB. Now here is a fun fact for you related to auxin. In some pathogenic bacteria, tryptophan is converted into IAM or indole 3-acetamide, which is then hydrolyzed into IAA. The auxin produced in this way can cause some morphological changes in the host plant cells. So, pathogenic bacteria also can produce auxin. So that's all about today's class. So if you have any questions, don't forget to ask me in the comment section or through our mail ID. And there is a self-assessment test link in the description box. Appear in it and evaluate yourself by getting your score instantly. Next Friday, we will learn about the gibberellins hormones. And if you have not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe our channel Bioholic, because the world of biology is here. So, stay safe. See you in the next Friday. Bye-bye.